Hello, today I'm looking at Majjhima Nikaya number 18, the Madhupindika Sutta, the Madhupindika Sutta, which is translated as the honey ball or the ball of honey Sutta. Now, it takes a rather unusual form in that it starts with a person called Dandapani asking Buddha about the Dhamma. The answer then which Buddha gives to Dandapani, the Buddha later relates to his own followers. His own followers request further information on Buddha's brief answer to Dandapani, and Buddha gives a fuller explanation. But then the followers seek more information, and they go to see a senior monk called Mahakachana, and he takes up the sutta. And towards the end of the sutta, Mahakachana meets up with Buddha, explains what he said, and Buddha said he's happy with Mahakachana's response. So there's quite a few occasions here to sort of like reinforce the message, and it actually starts off, as I said, with this chap called Dandapani, who's not a follower of the Buddha, asking Buddha, "What is your doctrine? What do you proclaim?" And Buddha answers that his doctrine is not where one quarrels with others throughout the cosmos, from devas to common folk, but it is the sort of doctrine where there is no obsession with perceptions, it's free from sensuality, perplexity, uncertainty, and it's devoid of craving for becoming and non-becoming. That's sort of birth and rebirth. Having heard this, Dandapani reportedly shakes his head, clucks his tongue and departs. Now this conversation is later related by Buddha to his followers, the monks, and one monk asks for a further explanation, the Buddha's answer to Dandapani, to which Buddha replies, what he was saying is, if there's nothing to relish or remain fastened to or to obsess over, then the obsessions of passion, resistance, views, uncertainty, conceit, becoming and non-becoming and ignorance will end. And if they end, or when they end, there will be no need to take up weapons, to argue, quarrel, be divisive, make false speeches. This would all cease. The evil, unwholesome states cease without remainder. So with that explanation, Buddha then leaves, or departs for the evening, but the monks continue discussing what was said, and go for a further explanation from a senior monk called Mahakachana, who I mentioned before. Obviously Kachana would prefer that they ask Buddha, but at the monk's insistence, Kachana elaborates on Buddha's words. The Buddha had said, as to the source through which perceptions and notions born of mental proliferation beset a man, if nothing is found there to delight in, welcome to, or hold on to, then that is the end of the underlying tendency to lust, etc., etc. This comes about because, dependent on the eye and forms, eye consciousness arises. The meeting of the three, that's the eye, form and eye consciousness, is contact. And the contact leads to feelings. The feelings leads to perception. Perception leads to thinking about it. The thinking leads to mental proliferation with respect to past, present and future forms, as seen through the eye. So basically saying with perceptions we get well involved. A thought that came to my mind is maybe it's like walking back to your car and there's a ticket on the windscreen, and further down the road there's a parking warden, and so there's eye, form, eye consciousness, contact on the whole thing, And just sort of end the analogy. You take the ticketing windscreen and say there's a little note from somebody saying, "Hi, I just noticed one of your tyres is flat, you may want to attend to it." So that whole build up of anguish and everything else is just due to I form and I consciousness. And this phenomena is repeated with the ear and sounds, the nose and odours, tongue and flavours, body and tactile sensation, mind and mind objects or intellectual ideas. So they all lead on and lead through to build up something that, may not exist really. So it just goes on to say, when there is no form, no I consciousness, it is impossible to point out there is contact. So there'll be no contact, there'll be no feeling, there'll be no perception, no thinking, no mental proliferation. And that is again repeated about if there's no ear, no form, no ear and sounds, no nose and odours, no tongue, and so on and so forth. This is then reported back to Buddha, who states he would have made the same answer. So, say, Kachana, Mahakachana, what he's told to the monks is also told back to Buddha, who agrees with what Mahakachana has said. And the sutta ends with another follower, Ananda, saying to Buddha that should a monk fully understand this sutta, it would be like finding a ball of honey. Hence the sutta's name, Madhu Pindika Sutta, the ball of honey sutta. Thanks for watching. Cheers.